If statements. This week you will learn how your VBA program can make decisions using if statements, how to calculate the natural log, exponential function, and standard normal distribution using VBA. In this video you will learn how your VBA program can make decisions using if statements. We will be using if, else if, and else. Here is the basic if statement. So we have a condition. If this condition is true, then the code between if and end if is executed. Otherwise, nothing is executed. This week we will be learning a lot of things by example. These are the comparison operators that we use in VBA. So when we make that condition that we saw on the previous slide, we have the equal to operator, we have greater than, and we have less than. In addition to that, we have logical operators, not, and, or, and exclusive or. These will be explained by example when we actually try these in VBA. This is the first worksheet of the Week 5 workbook. This worksheet is not graded. We are just using this to play around with VBA. So we can input numbers and we can output numbers. So let's input the number 5 here. And let's write some code. This is our pro forma sub test if template for this sheet 1. As you can see, we read the values of B4, B5, and B6 into the variables input 1, input 2, input 3, and then we also have the variables input 1 to 3, and we read them into the cells A9, B9, and C9. These correspond to the colored cells on the worksheet as you saw before. So let's write our first if statement. So this is our first if statement. As in the PowerPoint slides, this is the condition. So if input 1 equals 5, input 1 is this variable input 1, which the value from input 1 comes from cell B4, which is 5. Then we will display a message box saying yes, it is 5. So let's run this program. Yes, it is 5. Say if I were to change this to the number 4 instead, then nothing happens. Did you see that? Nothing happened. I will now teach you the next type of if statement, the if-else statement. In this case, If input 1 is 5, we will get a message box. If it is not 5, we will output not 5 into output 1, which corresponds to the cell A9. So if input 1 equals 5, do this, or else do that. So let's run the program. We can see that input 1 was not 5, and so we get not 5 here. But if we make input 1 5 and run the program, we have a message box that says yes, it is 5, and nothing here. Let's continue. In this case, we first check if input 1 is 5. If input 1 is 5, then we get a message box saying, yes, it is 5. If it is not 5, or else, if input 2 equals 5, into output 2, we will write, that's okay, there is another 5. Then if both of these are false, both of these conditions, this one and this one, if they're both false, else we will just output into output 1, not 5. Let's see what happens when we run this program. Yes, it is 5, because the cell B4 is 5. Let's see if we do this. Right? And press play. Into output 2, we have wrote into output 2, we have written, that's okay, there is another 5. Let's say neither of these are 5. Output 3 then becomes not 5. Try everything in this part of the video now and then proceed to the next part of the video.